Hello everyone. So today I wanted to talk about a deck I've played quite a bit on the ladder and in Quick Constructed, Esper Approach. So why do you want to play this deck over a standard approach deck? Well, in the current meta there's basically two top decks. The first one is Red Deck Wins, where you play a large number of minions and you just try and go face as quickly as possible. And then there's Blue-White Approach, and in that deck, you normally don't play any minions at all. You just try and cancel everything your opponent does, and then you play Approach twice, and then you win. So, Esper Approach has this black package, which I think allows you to sort of have a stronger game against both those two top decks in the meta. So versus red deck, you have 3 Golden Demise. That's really invaluable again in stabilizing the board. You have Scriptures. You have Contempt, which allows you to gain a little bit of life back. So this is really helpful in stabilizing. Also versus Approach and other control decks, you have Duress. And Duress allows you to discard important parts of your opponent's game plan, like Teferi or counterspells. And more importantly, it allows you to know what's in your opponent's hand. So when you're doing the approach mirror, the only important thing is really whose second approach resolves first. And Duress allows you to sort of figure out when you can play your approach to make sure that that happens. So aside from that, we have your pretty standard blue package. We have 2 times Search for Azcanta. We have 2 Hieroglyphic Illuminations. We have 2 Pull from Tomorrows to try and draw the important pieces of our game plan. We also have 2 Supreme Wills. And then for our counterspell package, we have 3 cancels. I used to run 4 cancels. There's a fair number of people going for mill strategies, and they might get lucky and hit your second sun, so I threw in a commit memory to sort of help with that. Then finally you have Syncopate. I used to run Negate. Negate was pretty good in the approach matchup, but pretty bad in the red deck wins matchup. They do have lightning bolts in red deck, which you could negate, but most of the time they're just playing creatures. So then I switched to Essence Scatter. Essence Scatter is great versus red deck, but it's very poor versus approach. Normally it's a dead card there. So I found Syncopate to be a pretty happy medium. I've been really happy with the performance of this card in this deck. Then in the white package, you have 3 times Settle the Wreckage. This is very good if you can live to turn 4, especially against mid-range. This is really your only answer against Carnage Tyrant. Excuse me. You have 4 Seal Aways. This is extremely good against aggro, one of the better cards introduced in the recent expansion. You also have Teferi. Teferi is very good in really every matchup if you survive to play him. He can also serve as his own win condition, as we'll see later on. So finally, we get down to our lands. In this deck, you really need to play lands as much as possible that come into the battlefield untapped, especially versus aggro. So I don't run some of the special lands that they run in the standard approach deck, like Rivulets. It's really just too painful to have your lands come in tapped. I did finally have to add in 2 Field of Ruins just to protect my flipped search. You might be able to go down to 1, but unfortunately I think you do need to have 2. Although you will lose a game or 2 just because this is colorless mana. Alright, so that's sort of the overall look at the deck. Let's take a look at how this deck works in some particular games. I picked 3 games which I think are representative of what you'll see on the ladder. I've got a red deck wins game, I've got a mid-range game, and I've got a approach matchup. So let's start with the red deck first. Johnny Sports. Funny name. Let's see here. It's a pretty borderline hand, but 2 cancels, it might be good. Might be enough. Say it'd be fine if it were going first, but he's going first, so I can't cancel his turn 2 play. Oh, but okay, that's much better now. They're on turn 3. Oh, That's also good. Okay, I think we're gonna be okay here. I'm gonna take 3 extra just because this saves my syncopate, which I'll probably need in the future. That's painful. I think I want to seal this away because then we keep syncopate open for a return. I always can tempt stuff. There we go. This is I think we got. I think we go for this now, because most of his chargers will cost him 4, and then I can syncopate.
I'm known for my excellent. Let's skip to the good part.
So that's reasonable. Yeah, exactly. See. Bet he regrets sacrificing his ruin now.
Keep up the pace.
Next turn we can play our son, and then we will be good. Have these two. Probably better to heal for 2 than to cancel.
Come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar.
No time for a break.
There we go. Alright, so that's basically your ideal red deck game there. So let's take a look at a mid-range matchup now. And I like this matchup I like this game just because it shows how this matchup normally goes, and it shows how Teferi can sort of be his own win condition. Although the interface for that is just a little bit awkward. But anyway, let's take a look. Feel like we may have time to play this, so we'll see. Maybe not. Am I sealing this guy? Yeah, I think so. He ever attacks. Oh. Probably not now, right? Ooh. Kind of want to play this to get Teferi down on an empty board. I've got another gut settle, so could play a Brontodon, I guess. Alright, I got it. Very nice.
This isn't a fight. You hold that thought.
Nice draw. Kind of. Kind of need to find my son now, but... Do you want to exile that guy?
Keep up the pace.
Like that's a relatively good exile target. One of his bigger minions, right? The creatures you control have trample. Okay. And the game is pretty laggy. Alright, so we did have time to play this. Alright, now we're getting way too much land. All the wreckage is good though.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna go for a Tefari win. Can I give any mana? No. Yeah, that's laggy.
Hold that thought.
Guess we do go for a Tefari win. Okay.
You are removed from time itself.
Alright, let's 5, 7. This card. Not get him yet? That's kind of weird. Oh, whoops. Okay. Doesn't show you which ones you haven't discarded yet. Well, whatever. Use some work. Don't have my son.
Let's slow the... We need to move quickly.
Alright. Still no second son, wow. There we go.
Hurry!
There we go. Alright, so that was the mid-range matchup. Now, I've selected one of my shorter approach games that still shows sort of the power of this Esper package here. So let's take a look. This is a good anti-aggro hand. Oh, actually playing second son. Don't care that much about the first one going off. Oh, this is actually quite a bad hand then. Alright, we would like... What would we like here? We'd really like another dress, I think. Yeah, counterspell will do. Nice Fields of Ruin. Alright, what are the odds those are counterspells? I think we... Go for it. Well, we got one out of him. I don't know, relatively high chance. That was gonna go through. Could also have waited for his son. That might have been smarter, but not sure why I didn't play it. Not gonna put this down until he. Oh, because he's only got. No, he's got 7. Yeah, I should have played it. What are the odds that that's a counterspell? Relatively high, right? He should play that. Okay, 02. Pull for 3. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's pull for 6, and I mean that could be a counterspell, but his last one, right? Well, not his last one, but we know what else is in his hand, so. Lag is pretty bad. Ah, man. He's just super lucky with this. Alright. Oh, we could have played it. Ah, I needed to count better. That was a mistake. So I'm gonna play this guy first. This guy on an empty board just
Sorry, let's skip to
dominates.
the good part.
Alright, next turn we play our son. Alright, so he canceled a bunch of our stuff, but it worked out in the end, I think.
No time for a break.
And another counterspell, that's excellent. Alright, we should get him. Let's see here. Unfortunately, we have to use counterspell. Well, we do have a syncopate for backup purposes. Yep, there we go. Alright, so you see how by discarding his Teferi, I had another counterspell left over, which eventually allowed me to win the game. Alright, so as I said before, I played this game played this deck quite a lot on the ladder, played it all the way up to Masters. I've also had multiple 7 and X runs with it on the Quick Constructed. definitely has a positive expected value. If you start finding quite a lot of aggro, can go up one golden demise maybe, and maybe cut a commit. If you find more control starts to predominate over aggro, then maybe cut a golden demise and a scriptures, go up another 2 duresses. Anyway, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you like this deck and others like it, check out my stream at Pericles and Chrome, where I normally play similar stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching.